for about an hour and a half, 2 hours this morning. So they've done a lot of work, so they will be drinking energy drinks and having the right food and that in between races and prior to the races. So, you know, the guys are built up and they are prepared in the best possible way. But the thing is, Pouzard now is very, very comfortably in the lead. He can lose his concentration quite easily. You can see Pouzard there, with a nice close-up shot like that, you can see he's working the clutch all the time, because these bikes, they produce about 35, 36 brake horsepower, and consequently they rev very, very hard, so they have to keep them near maximum revs nearly all the time. What they tend to do is keep the throttle flat out and play with the clutch, like on your car, you know, you put the clutch in just to change gear. These, they have to do it to get the power out of the machine much quicker, and each corner he comes to, he'll more than likely pull the clutch in once and let it out, not to change a gear, but just to build the engine revs up and go out the corner as quick as possible.
There's Alan Morrison, struggling a little bit more in this second leg, but great exertion from him in leg one, maybe feeling the pace now. Doubtful maybe with 11 minutes to go in this leg that anybody can catch Alessandro Pouzard. Now we'll try and work out the gap here between first and second place. Well, it's not very much. It's not very much. Now that's interesting. As far as I'm aware, Pouzard fell off there when we were watching the Healy and Moore battle. He's obviously got back on the bike very quickly too, but the gap's right down.
Yeah, we did see a yellow flag out there, and actually it was Pouzard that came from behind the bush, but I didn't think it was Pouzard that went down, but I just saw him come off the last jump and his head was nodding. I don't know whether he might have a problem as well, because obviously if you fall down, there's a lot of rocks in the ground here. You can do some damage to your handlebars or whatever. He's obviously a little bit concerned. He's having a look behind. He's obviously been in trouble somewhere, because he's having a look behind thinking, where are them guys? They've got to be closer to me. So it'll be very interesting just to see what's happening.
Well, from a position when he was coasting to a second successive leg victory, he is now not just so far ahead. Is he? Oh! And another spill again at that corner, and it's Bob Moore and Mike Healy, and Moore, I think, came off second best there.
That was an absolutely classic block tactic from Healy. They ride so hard, these guys. He left Moore absolutely nowhere to go except on the floor if he wanted. If you see it coming to the inside, he's made the inside here, and Moore's absolutely nowhere to go. Took his front wheel completely from underneath him. Now, whether them two guys are going to be good mates in the pits, I wouldn't think so after.
In fact, both riders had almost come to a complete standstill whenever they collided there.
Absolutely, they were just, well, one was obviously trying to stop the other was just going through whatever. This is a trademark of Healy's riding. I've seen him ride several times this year, and he does race very, very hard. Obviously, now he's got Pouzard in his sight, so he's the next one on the list. A rider we haven't seen much of in this one is Trampers Parker. I think Trampers Parker's injuries are hampering him somewhat. He's been in there, he's still in fourth place, which is no mean feat considering the injuries he has. He has, as you said before, a very heavily strapped right shoulder, the broken bone in the foot, and I think the rough Donnelly course has taken its toll on him. He knows he's been riding around here now for almost an hour and a half. So he's looking very, very gingerly at riding very, very steadily and not injuring himself anymore. He'll be comfortable with his fourth place.
Well, Roger, of course, you know this track very well indeed, having been second here in the John Donnelly a number of times, as well as finishing fifth in the World 125cc Championship in 1976. How tough a track is it compared to the other ones they might ride on?
It's an extremely hard track to ride. It does get very, very rough, and it's just very, very demanding. And because it is quite a fast track, it puts a lot of stress on your body trying to hang on to the bike. The arms are pulled very, very hard, and for 45 minutes, it's a long time to be pulled about and knocked about. But the club have done an excellent job on the track. The watering this morning, and you can see the conditions now almost perfect. So the riders have got no cause for complaint there. They must have really enjoyed the day's racing.
And as the race approaches its close, we see Bob Moore, and let me just tell you that their second place man, Healy, that Alan Morrison is still 13th. So World Championship points looking almost secured for Morrison in both legs. And that really is wonderful stuff. It's been quite an exhibition from Puzar today, Roger, hasn't it? Some great overtaking manoeuvres and general top-class riding.
Excellent riding from Puzar. He's controlled the race, dominated the race. Very, very surprising because the Americans have been going so fast this year. They've been virtually untouchable. The only man that's been able to get in there is Puzar. But this he's absolutely dominated, which will obviously give him confidence now to go to South America and then back to France, where France will be a hard track. The South Americas quite possibly will be hard tracks. It will suit Puzar and his riding style, so he's got no more sand to contend with. It looks like Healy's got a problem also there, because he had his hand up, whether he was signalling to his pit crew that, yeah, I'm okay, or whether he was saying, I have a problem. You don't know which one it is, but like, certainly he's lost the pace on Puzar, so it's possible he has a problem.
It's very difficult at the front. No one to chase, and the occasional glimpse over the shoulder, almost paranoid, wondering who's behind you and who's chasing you and how far away they are.
He's got about a quarter of a lap to go now, and he shouldn't fall off in that quarter of a lap, but like, you can see how steady he's going. The guys that he's just lapped catching him back up, but he obviously wants to put this one away quite safely. And he's taking it so gingerly.
Well, who could blame him? And riding very, very sensibly indeed. Just pulling the bike round that corner. And there's the checkered flag, and there are the arms in the air. And Alessandro Puzar is very, very happy indeed at Killinchy. He's won the first leg and the second leg. And in comes Healy. He takes second place to add to his third in the first leg, third in the second, and he's shaking that left hand. So obviously a problem there, cramp,
yes,
possibly.
Definitely a cramp problem.
Bob Moore comes in, third place. And fourth and a third for Bob Moore today. Very consistent from the American. Well, Puzar did an Italian job on the rest of the field at Killinchy, a magnificent double, this time pushing Mike Healy into second place, with Bob Moore third and Trampas Parker fourth. Alan Morrison was 13th and added 3 World Championship points to the 11 he picked up in the first leg. So obviously Puzar was the overall winner from Mike Healy, Parker was third, Moore fourth, Bartolini and Van Drunen shared 5th place, and Alan Morrison was equal 9th. Well, now Parker's lead in the World Championship has been cut by 10 points to 44. Mike Healy stays third, but he's over 100 points adrift of Parker. And now the riders go to South America for round 10. Well, Trampas, do you feel at this stage that you have the World Championship wrapped up?
Well, I feel I do, but you can't never be really for sure, because a couple of years ago, everybody thought Corrado Madi had it wrapped up, and he broke his leg in the last race and ended up letting Michele Rinaldi win it. So it's something that's unpredictable, but I have 44 points, which I'm really happy about.
Now, you live in Italy. You'll have to work as a translator now for us, the man who won both legs today, Alex Puzar. Can you ask him, does he think he has a chance of catching you?
Yes. Se pensi è possibile riesce a vinto un mondiale?
Io non so, sai, ormai hai 44 punti e niente, spero solo di vincere più tante manche, e l'importante è portare il mondiale in Italia. Se lo vinci tu, per me è peggio, però sarei contento ugualmente.
He would like to win it, but I have a 44-point lead, which makes it pretty hard. But what's most important is that we bring the title back to Italy. And whether I win it or he wins it, that's the important thing. If I can't win it, I want him to win it. And if he can't win it, he wants me to win it. So it's working both ways.